Oh, the accounts are gone. Okay. Oh, well, thanks for telling me you were doing that, so I didn't say. Oh.
Motherfucker, you were watching the stream. You
There's
watched
always
the.
a purge, like right before I get like 600 followers on Twitter for Master Roshi's. There's like a purge, and I get knocked down to like 400 something. So I'm getting close to 600 again, and I'm like, dude, I hope I stay above 600 this time. It's happened like
Bro,
three or
that
four
10K
times.
curse is real, real. Like, we fucking.
Dude,
And it wasn't because of our. Like, there were people commenting, oh, it's because your content sucks, blah, 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 and sexually frustrated guts. Nah, bro, it's not because of that. Because even shitty ones will have enough reach. If I have 17,000 people on this page and I have fucking 200 reach, it's not just because it's shitty content.
no.
It's because they're throttling it so that you pay to get some of that shit back that you already should have naturally.
Well, I mean, before before the Goku page got shut down, when we were all on it anyway.
That was too big for them to throttle at that point.
But
That one,
like,
You know, it's funny because I remember we made. I remember that one time we made fun of Jordan Peterson. So many people got butthurt over that,
No,
but it was like the most. It was the most views a post had ever gotten, and it was like, you know, like every now and then you'd be like getting all these angry like messages and shit. A few days later, or
well, then,
75 more
quote
responses.
unquote,
which
you had,
iteration
quote
of it?
Goku, yeah, like eventually you had Goku, the admin Goku, that took issue with a post we shared from the illustrious Dino Spumoni about uh, what's old fat boy from God Emperor Trump.
Oh, god damn it! What is his name?
Tom.
Weston.
What?
Not really though.
No, that's a joke.
Tom Pappert.
I
Tom
call him.
Pappert.
Yes,
Yes,
that guy.
yes.
We had a post making fun of him, you know, because
Oh,
obvious
no
reasons
shit.
or whatnot. And one of the original like
It was
before
the
any of
original.
it,
Politically
yeah, it
incorrect
was one of the
Goku.
two original politically incorrect Goku admins, which was around before any of us were. That I guess from the stories I gathered, he gave his blessing to restart the page. He was kept on there as admin, you know, as just kind of respect for it or whatever. But he took issue with that because they were friends and we're a fucking shit posting page.
Yeah.
What do you?
And like, I'm still friends with them on there, and like, it's fine or whatever. But like, that was just kind of weird though.
Oh, and we got so much hate from it from people that were just like, "Oh, let me suck this dude's dick because he's fucking meme page. God, he really did a lot of blah blah blah." Bro, so what? Like time goes on and more people like show themselves. The more you expose yourself, the more people get to know you, and you might not always be the kind of person that people will end up respecting.
Yeah, and because
Oh yeah, like you know Dino and all those guys. I think they all got doxed hard, even though he's still paying for the website for Goy Talk. That shit fell apart, man.
You know,
dude,
we had a good time with
yeah.
everybody. It was always real cool with them, and then like whatever went on, and it just became a circle of no, that's a I can't say.
So okay, I don't want to say a name that we know,
Right,
but
right.
let me see how I can word this. There was somebody in the was he even in the group chats or just
Are we talking about? Yeah,
yeah?
Who?
Remember the Canadian?
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yes,
that
he
shit
was.
happened first.
Yes,
He was in the group chat.
yes, he was.
Okay, so this guy was in the group chat and then just all of a sudden just was like, I don't fucking know, and disappeared. It just was like gone. I might have like made some like weird cryptic post shit, but I really don't remember. I don't think so. And then fucking oh god, what was
Talk about Uncle.
well, that's what I was alluding to, but
Oh, yeah.
what was his that he went by?
I don't.
I mean,
I don't remember.
the
I
other
don't remember what his handle was. I remember one of the accounts that got Moshi something was one of the accounts that Rabbi Sheckelstein's
yeah.
got nuked with. Um, but then everything just got real weird, as things tend to do, and you're not sure if things are Fed posting, schizo posting,
Or like
LARP posting, whatever's going on. But this is too much.
There was so much Serbian J double bluff.
That see, I'm
You know,
intentionally trying to find words that are not my normal
yeah.
zuckable words of saying it. It just turned into like a big,
Who's outfetting who?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. And somebody found out that I don't even remember his actual name because he deserves to have the name just fucking said. Honestly.
It's Uncle Pete.
Yeah, Pete.
I can't remember the rest of his name, but Uncle Pete.
It's some fucking Italianish.
I don't know.
Fucking know.
I don't even know if this person was a real person. I don't know what the deal was.
That's a big fucking thing too.
But it got real weird. Then everybody got hit with bans at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And because we both had 2 accounts in that chat, and
in that chat, yeah.
And one of mine got banned, so I hit you up, and then like nobody's responding, but everybody's seeing it. And then it was like, oh, are you banned? And then it got like 4 likes or something.
That shit was just a weird. Okay.
It ended real weird. It just ended. It just ended.
Dude, after I left that group chat, like the entire thing fucking lasted like 2 more weeks, and then
it
2 more weeks.
It was like you ran out of highway. Like it was, and then a drop. It literally came to a dead stop, and there was nothing else. And then now these group chats aren't around. I'm not really seeing the people anymore. Goy Talk is now the show, and
is it still?
Not now, but I'm talking about then. Eventually, it was like,
oh yeah,
no, because Arnell pretty much left the show, and then it fell apart after that because like PZ didn't want to come on anymore. Because I think Arnell got doxxed, and then Dino got doxxed, and then PZ, I haven't heard from him.
Which could be absolutely devastating social and career-wise for people. But on the other hand, everybody, like, it was, what was that little New Jersey dude? The dude who was who was trying to, like, dox the fuck out of Dino and everybody. It was, you remember who I'm talking about, right? He was like Jersey Shore looking motherfucker, like straight up, and he was trying to dox everybody, and then like he got doxed into a black fucking hole.
Yeah, dude.
Like apparently, from what I remember, he got sent pictures of like outside of where he was at eventually. like
that type of insane shit. Like, yeah. Don't even try.
It was something Italian, and he was from New Jersey, and and he totally looked like it too. Just like you could see this
straight up Guido.
Yeah, absolutely, fist bumping and fucking some fat slut behind the bar. And, like, just fucking the whole thing. It was cartoonish, but then it got more like things got more hateful and spiteful and a lot of stuff. But like, you start doxing people, you start doing what you're doing, saying what you're saying. There's always the threat of that happening.
Okay, so it's not but like the doxing shit that existed back in the day was just like, it was not for saying mean things on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, they would find these fucking like crazy pedos and shit, and like killing, torture shit, and like, no, like, you work at Redacted.
But yeah, what I was getting at was it got more malicious with the shit. So of course, like, you're essentially saying I'm going to war with this person or this group of type of people. So of course you're gonna get fucking doxxed. Of course you're gonna get,
Well, yeah, and
it just is what it is.
Dude, they could just like make up, and this is the fucking clown shit that we live in. They just make up whatever, and then they'd have to be doing like random, and then
oh, I know my baby was kicking in doors and robbing people, but he shouldn't have got shot in the face.
No, dude, I'm talking about like some of the conversations. While they could be as a character that you play on the internet,
well, yeah,
taken out of context and be like, this.
See, there's your fucking problem. You're implying context matters to the people who are going to be on the opposing side of this.
No, I'm talking about when Discovery is trying to be made.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
All of that, and like, I imagine that we could imagine the things and why they no longer exist on social media.
Yes. Yes.
No,
No, that's
no.
why I said, that's why I was making some of those very vague statements earlier, because yeah, like, yes, you know people, that you get close to people, you interact, you make friends with people. Therefore, you have more idea of what there is to lose on that end, I guess. And like, some shit and some things. They were all real cool for that time.
Oh, I was
It was
about to
all
say,
good.
man, my hometown gym. There's like a dude in the gym who's always flashing his Banditos colors at the gym.
That's funny. We
I thought it was weird. I was like, what a weird place to flash your fucking colors at. It's the fucking gym.
I mean, does it really matter? They used to have a pretty big presence around here for a while, around the Waco thing, around the time that stuff went on, and they're around here anyways. And one of them doesn't live very far from me, but they used to be all over here, and uh, there was actually, everybody heard about the Waco stuff with the Cossacks, but didn't hear about any of the other nonsense, because there's a they're both, at one point they had pretty heavy presence around here. Both of them did, and then like during the time all that shit down in Waco was going on, and that whole week, now I don't see Cossacks around here hardly ever. And I mean, Banditos is it's Texas, it's their territory. I see them on a pretty regular basis, them or support clubs, and no matter where they are, that you can always tell.
Fuck, I'm not on the right one.
What are you doing? So what's with these timelines and stuff?
I'm trying to fucking get on the Twitter thing because it all stemmed. Okay, it didn't all, but much of it did. There it is. Klaus, did you reread that thing I sent you? The fuck?
Hello?
What happened? I hear clicks, not Klaus's.
I'm texting a chick.
Oh,
Oh, you're like my brother. The rest of the world doesn't exist while you're texting. Okay, cool. Fuck.
No, it's like this chick I matched up with in Japan, and she's going to be coming into town soon to visit her mom because her mom remarried. So she's looking for someone to show her around and shit.
I mean, there's this three guys that could show around. Or wait, two maybe. Sorry, Popo. Can watch.
Yo, don't.
Well, it was weird
Don't
because
forget
like,
my wife has to
like
beat
on
me up. She'll
usually I
fucking
get
stab you.
contacted by like women I suspect to be Chinese agents, but this chick seems like legit Japanese and not a Chinese agent.
Absolutely Chinese agent.
Because there was one that was trying to meet
Everybody's-
me back in February,
Bro, that's how they get you, bro.
and she said, "Oh yeah, I'll show up to town." I said, "Okay," and then she never showed up, and February came and gone. It's like, man, I didn't get a chance to disappoint her in
Bro,
person.
if she won't do squid shit on camera, she's a Chinese agent. I'm just saying, I need to see proof.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
one of them was like from actual, I think Malaysia or some shit. It was like some weird bullshit. That was back when I was in Arkansas. Because she was like, "Oh yeah, I just moved here to be with my parents from Vegas." I'm thinking, why'd you come out here? Because this place sucks. And then she's like, "But I gotta go back to Malaysia because that's where my business, whatever dealings are. Then I'll be back." And then she decided she didn't want to talk to me because I wasn't interested in crypto. Because I was just like, because like we're talking, getting to
Bro,
know
you
each
coulda
other,
had a
and when she talked
heroin
about
connect from
crypto,
the
I was just
Golden
like,
Triangle.
yeah, I'm just not really into it. And then she just like that totally turned her off that I wasn't into crypto.
Bro, you could have had a connect for heroin in the Golden Triangle. What the fuck is wrong with you?
No, that she needs to be out like Laos and Cambodia for that. But Malaysia's like the Muslim part of Asia.
I'm just gonna be classic white racist here, and it's all the same over there. Whatever.
Yeah, well, okay, you already started it whenever the Japanese was a Chinese agent, and they don't even look the same. Your fucking face. It doesn't matter. Frogs and Zoros don't look the same, and yet here they are, still white. Fucking Zoro. Oh yeah, I put that in the group chat too. Well, since the letter Z became a hate speech symbol, I feel
Oh, it
so
is now
bad.
officially.
I feel so bad for Zoro.
I asked my Russian friend what it meant, and he doesn't know.
It's Zoro. The spray paint. Zoro runs these parts, mother. World War Z.
Hey, now Russia's getting a taste of what it's like to fight global commies.
Dude, okay. Look, here's the fucking deal.
Hey.
The timeline.
Okay.
Okay, we're talking about the timelines and the things that we're gonna discuss, and this is gonna be very broken, as usual. No fucking
train of thought cohesively.
Yeah, well, that too. Structure.
You got my video loaded up because it talks about the gematria between World War I, II, and then possible the gematria is perfect right now for World War III.
I don't have any video of anything.
It's on my YouTube page. It's like one of those text to speech stories called "It Happened on a Tuesday" because it was on 2/2/22 when I put it out.
That's okay. I've already just like lost my brain because that was a lot of words. Hold on.
Yes.
Yes. Also, I don't have the Streamlabs for any extra shit. I only have it for the esotericast thing right now because I haven't used this shit in a while. Like I said, the last thing I did was, I guess.
You know, I really appreciate you cropping that picture to make me look like I have hair. That's nice.
Same here because I don't have any either.
Bring me back to my teenage days.
I'm just two fucking cats. You got a fucking genie turban with hair poking out. That's hilarious.
Fucking what even is that?
What?
What is that top picture?
What top picture?
So what's the Dragon Ball shit coming out, man? They say that I guess Piccolo gets a new form or changes color or some shit, and Gohan actually fights good again.
Bro, I saw everything's on hold. Anything for Toei right now because of that fucking massive hack job that happened against them, or is that just parts of it?
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
I know that One Piece Studios has gone on indefinite hiatus. I initially thought it was just the One Piece Studios that got hacked, but then I later saw a story that it was like a massive hack against the entirety of Toei, implying like they were pretty sparse on details, but it was implying that data had definitely been stolen. And if you think about how many of the different animes or whatever could potentially have years worth of stuff already hammered out and done up, and for like One Piece, you're at episode 1013 and have all this shit already done, but somebody comes in and steals and possibly leaks it, that would fucking suck.
Yeah, my buddy, one of my shit posting buddies, he has the Twitter name Luftwaffen Luffy. And then I think he changed it to Big Boss Luffy after he kept getting banned, so he made it like Metal Gear Solid 5, and he's got the eye patch and shit.
That's fucking great.
And it's funny because like he'll get on there and he'll shit post for a day because people were like, "Oh, I miss Luffy," and I said, "Just wish him back with the Dragon Balls." And I messaged him on Discord like, "Hey, your buddies are wishing you back with the Dragon Balls," and he shows up with a new account and he's banned within 12 hours because he like bullied. He went after some celebrity. Forgot which pedo one it was. The Oscar.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, but anyway, he bullied the hell out of this one dude, and that's what got him booted off. Because I've seen him boot. Like those one day, he bullied a tranny until she left Twitter. We were like, "Holy shit, a victory!"
Is that a suckable thing?
What transmissions?
Nah. I know so many people won't ever get into One Piece, but I really like One Piece, and that's not one of those series. Oh, bro, you have to watch One Piece. So yeah, how many episodes? Dude, just watch it, bro. Just watch it. You can't. That's not even an anime you could sell to motherfuckers. Like, is it wrapped up or is it ongoing? Oh, it's ongoing. How long's it been going on? Fucking 25 years. Um, uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I need you to watch all 1,013 episodes and report back to me. It's fantastic. I love it, but goddamn, like that's a lot.
Dude, I think this is gonna end up going iceberg style for timelines, right? You surface and then you deeper into the iceberg. You know what I'm talking about? The iceberg videos. I feel like it's gonna end up being this because, first of all, isn't all of this very familiar? Like the right now, isn't it very familiar? Well, okay, not here right this second. That's like episode 1.5 conversation. I feel like,
Yes,
but the
everything
various happenings.
relatively begins to feel more and more like been here, done this.
Okay, why? Why? Oh, because we fucking did. Because we already fucking did this shit. Russian bots, fucking all the shit. The fucking everybody's a Nazi again or not. I don't know anymore.
Bro, see, this is gonna fuck with us. Right when everybody's cool with being like, sure, I'm a Nazi. Is is this a negative or a not negative now? I don't understand.
I think that's the point. Not the problem, but the point. Right, but it's like here's what happened. The timeline was going, and then Donald Trump, or actually, then Betards and Polacks, uh, memed the presidency into existence because
I'm so used to hearing B with another word that when you said B-tards, I was like, what is he? Oh, yeah, cool.
God damn it. But all of that, it was like, oh my god, I actually have this. I have this. This was my Twitter thing. Klaus, I don't know if you, that's what I was trying to say. I don't know if you reread that or if you ever did, but this was like, what did the fucking date say? November of last year? Yeah. November 7th of fucking last year.
How about you read that so everybody who's not looking at your screen can hear?
I'm I gotta like calm my fucking shit down because I'm just like having all of the aneurysms. Okay.
I was about to say, I'm surprised we're not in FEMA camps yet. You know, that's what we predicted like before the election.
Implying that America isn't one large female.
Talk that church. Okay, so I don't want to. Hold on. Is that mute?
You got to play some intro music.
What intro music, dude? We don't have any of that shit. We just like fucking, dude. We've been live for like 20 fucking minutes.
We're some local promotion that puts on shows at a armory. We're not the WWE. Okay,
Yeah,
we don't have entrance.
We don't.
Music. We barely have speedos.
Yeah, like it takes like 6 fucking hours to be like, I think I got this thing plugged in right.
And the first time, that's not an exaggeration at all. The second time, everything was plugged in right, and it's still fucking wrong.
Yeah. But like, I can go on his shit, and then it's perfectly fucking fine. On the shaman stuff, like it's ridiculous. I'm just like, oh yeah, like I'm ready to go, and then it's like, hey Popo, you want to do a thing? Yeah, sure. It's not doing the thing. Why? Let me check all the fucking settings. I literally didn't change a thing. And it takes forever. But anyway, yeah, point is we don't I don't have to. But I was thinking of something though. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
Because it's very hilarious. kind of want to do it now, but
Just focus.
okay, I can't do that. Okay, don't you remember? I took all the
I know,
Adderall
but
and invented the shapes and jerked off to them for an hour, right?
God damn it.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a good one. That was a good. I don't
Solid
even, wouldn't
meme.
even call it a burn.
You know what? I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because
It is
fuck that
definitely-
bitch anyways. But
But
it's an 8 out of 10 with regards to fuck that bitch. So
that's an 8 out of 10 in regards to like a thought about you, man. Fuck you. Okay. So like I said, it's like the timeline was going 2015, 2016, and then it's like that whole 4 years tangented off and like didn't continue to exist in that timeline. This is kind of like a variance of where this Twitter post goes, but it's like I'm fucking pointing like I'm like cameras and shit or whatever, which there's none, and I can't even make a squiggly because I didn't set fucking anything up. It doesn't matter, dude. It's like a timeline goes straight and it does straight downward, and then it goes over to continue time, and then it goes back up, and then continues. But you take this and you just move it back.
yes.
Like this isn't 22. This is 2018.
I don't know what year it is at this point.
There was a blank space of 4 years that we existed in, and we got put back into the timeline at 2016 and 2020. And so you had 2 more years. So now we're really, well, still air quotes, but really in 2018. Because we're just continuing where we fucking left off. We're just continuing where we fucking left off, dude. In many ways.
Yes.
Like I said, that's kind of a variant on this rant, because they all fucking are. They're all rants. They're just long fucking schizo posts, I suppose.
I'm telling you, one of us needs to take your meds.
One of us needs to take my meds. Okay. I don't want to read it from the phone. Twitter.com. Ah! It's Salgo! Why is it Salgo?
What?
Look, this right here, this shit, on the Twitter homepage on browser.
So, do you think we're no longer on the original timeline since Trump didn't get elected?
No,
Or do you believe he was supposed to take an L?
that depends on which timeline. This, Popo. See?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Why did I not just do this? Why did...
Because
Man, okay.
you're special.
I've about had enough. So to answer your question, I don't know, but let me just... I'm going to have to get through this part, or we never will. We won't. Okay,
Well,
so
we're waiting.
Fuck you. I will wish you out of existence.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, I wish I wish you into permanence. Dick. Okay, so this is, what is it? Thread reader app, because on Twitter you can unroll your threads, because you can only type so much in this
I
one
don't.
and two.
I don't use Twitter.
All of this giant fucking wall of text
Yes.
can't go on one post.
Oh.
So it takes them all and does that. So
The only time I've ever used Twitter was to see how long I could use actual slurs towards people on there before getting banned.
R.I.P. the Goku page on there.
That
I was
Also-
about to say, man, I
Oh.
ended up getting away with way more shit on Twitter than I could on Facebook. It was amazing. It's like I kind of wish I got onto Twitter years ago.
But there was so much that got away with that. So that like that. Not like us, but like people that should not have been posting certain things on like surface web, right? Like you know you go to
Auctions
you
and
go
such.
to Little Caesars and get a what? Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. Why post that on fucking Twitter? And then just somebody comes across it and then they share it. Like, I can't believe I fucking saw this on Twitter. That's why everybody tell Twitter that they're like, I don't know if I can even use the words on this platform.
Yeah, let's not.
I don't know, but you know what I mean. It starts with P and
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, priest. So.
Oh, you mean a social networking platform was giving
Yeah.
giving P files a platform? Yeah, no shit. Oh, shocking. They
Yeah,
allow
I know.
they
I
allow
know.
auctions and such to go on.
But
You don't
like,
say.
I know, but normies were sharing it. Like
Yeah,
on Facebook.
and
That's what I'm
normies
saying,
ruined
dude.
everything.
Anyways, so I said things that CERN and DARPA probably gonna heart attack gun me over part 1. I never really made a part 2, but I guess they could consider this part 2. That's fine. It's episode 2, so sure, why not? Your face. That's the only reason I say a lot of the things that I do, just because of that. Like anybody that ever, if they fucking ever watch this, they're like, I don't really know what the fuck these people are talking, and that's fine. I don't.
All
care.
you have to do is be able to string together a cohesive point for any amount of time. Really, I believe in you. You can do it.
I don't know, man. I've got the itis, the Joe Bidenitis.
You have what amounts to Joe Biden's script to read from right in front of you. Let's stay on track here.
I don't know. When
Does he need the earpiece?
God, fucking damn it. God damn it, Todd Howard.
Oh, right. Okay. Time does in fact have quantifiable and measurable energies. Time travel does not exist. Timeline replacements do. Yes. Multiple. Yes, even on our observable one, but also yes, others. In defiance of anthropic principle, other timelines have been observed without collapse. I say this then and I still laugh about it now. I will attempt to explain to the best of my ability. Fucking 13, 20 fucking things later, it still won't make sense, but that's fine. Using a single timeline as an example how it all works, allegedly and hypothetically, of course. So in school, you draw a line, you make notches, and add a date year, right? 300 BCE to 1800 CE, for example, at beginnings and ends. Between those, you make other notches representing historical markers. 1 CE, 1492, 1770, you get the idea. So instead of a straight line, you instead map, for example, the arced flight path of a 9mm round at high noon at any given azimuth in a 33 1/3 degree zenith. Before the crest, the round begins to lose velocity, and afterwards it's gained. That's the timeline. So bear with me. Similarly with sound, once the Mach surpasses that speed, a sonic boom is created. You see lightning before hearing thunder. The beginning of the ever-expanding universe was the initial round of time being fired. So now this gets fun. This is what I was talking about, of taking the 4 years of Trump out of the timeline. Timeline stasis. A third of the way into the descent, we now have a timeline tangent to the original. For symbolic fun, let's say this year was 2012. We go into timeline stasis and tangent. 2011 still becomes 2012. 2010 still becomes 2011, and so on in the original. The tangent we hypothetically exist in is not radially parallel, So energy fields and arcs can potentially cross and corrupt data. Now, suppose it had been discovered that the Omega event was to take place, I don't know, year 2250. So from 2012 to 2021, our velocity increased at the same rate parallel to the original timeline. It gets calculated that in the year 2024 is when the time boom occurs. The tangent is placed back at 2012, the original incident date. The velocity of time has now increased because of the energy gained in and from stasis. We experience time as we would and already did, but events took place in both timelines that may have not happened for the other. This accounts for so-called Mandela effects. They both did and did not occur. Due to the increased velocity of time, an Omega event now from this small amount of stasis is year 2203. We passed 2024 with no time boom, but only from this observable bastardized existence. We also create one here as well, both lightly wobble the arc because of it. This means a third interconnected timeline was created. 3 potentially observable alone, without collapse potential from that alone. However, energies are volatile and not enough time for synchronicity. The attempt at acceleration of Omega event blew up in the face of its design at 2146, many years later than anticipated, or earlier than anticipated. Now suppose instead of 2021 and 2012, we'll go back farther to 1897, because fuck the timeline, let's accelerate it to oblivion. Or stasis of the entirety at 0.00001 seconds left of existence. Wait until 8000 BCE comes through for insertion. Instead of the descent, the same is applied during ascent in hopes of altering the crest point, resulting in yet another timeline that would, with all probability, discontinue the existence of the others from before. They never got to occur, even though they already did. In my opinion, this is the true nature of the gatekeepers known as the Illuminati and such. And then there's the whole fucking, like, I really don't want to go any more on this because it's a tree fitty joke. The whole fucking thing was tree fitty. It was tree fitty, Klaus. Tree fucking 50. But
350 what? 350 years?
$3.50.
Oh, yeah, over here talking about that damn
Goddamn! Shut up, woman! Goddamn Loch Ness monster!
Shut up, old man.
It was then that I realized that that Girl Scout was 8 stories tall. It was a crustacean from the Paleozoic era.
God damn it.
Yeah, it was a fucking South Park tree fitty Loch Ness monster joke. The whole everything was for that punchline.
It threw me for a loop because I thought, in fact, it was going to end with "God damn it, Todd Howard," but it didn't, and that was funny.
Oh,
but I mean,
but also tree fitty. But here's the thing: I wrote it all for it's for 2 things. One, because tree fitty, and that was hilarious, and it wouldn't matter which way that you thought about it. You would not have you would have expected tree fitty like you would have expected the Spanish Inquisition. You know what I'm saying? So there was that, but there was also all of those ideas and all the things with timeline and shit and like being like fucking gun round and shit. That was my fucking own shit from back then. And Klaus, I don't know if you remember, but I was trying to tell, I know at least you, and I don't remember if it was before, during, or after a stream, but about something with time, and I needed like some time to fucking try to like sort through my fucking brain and like map out the ideas of it, of why it's different or something. I don't fucking remember. I just remember barely bringing it up before I wrote this.
Yeah, because I remember you were talking about the time dilation thing you experienced.
Yeah, yes, with the fucking
So you heard that they're actually working on a system where they can plug you into a system and you can experience 1,000 years.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And it'll last an hour. It's like some kind of prison sentence kind
Yeah,
of shit that they use to
I saw
mentally
that.
torture you.
That sounds absolutely terrifying.
Dude,
Yeah, it's like one of those things that Nikola Tesla said. You will see horrors beyond your own comprehension that are man-made, kind of thing. I probably fucked up the quote, but it just sounds like it's right up that alley. And I think several countries are developing it. Wouldn't be surprised if Elon Musk has his hand on it because he's all about that Neuralink shit.
Wouldn't surprise me in the least.
dude, okay. I don't know if I'm having seizure aneurysm or both because it's just so much fucking things regarding any of this. Right?
Sounds like my ex-wife.
God fucking damn it. We need to get like popo mask and a fucking cat mask and actually well you can't still
Just
see
go
our fucking
blackface.
faces, but what?
Just
Do
go-
blackface?
I'm
I
cosplaying Mr.
yeah.
Popo. Don't you fucking tell me that I can't be transracial and appreciate
Yeah, you
a
fucking bigot.
command side of mine. I don't.
Yeah. Only bigots say that shit.
Hey, and it could be a 2-for-1. I could be Justin Trudeau and Popo at the same time.
Fuck. Anyway, yes, the whole fucking weird shit with the Hyperborea thing, that was insane. And there's it's so stupidly entirely too goddamn much. Because the thing of what you were just saying with the machine or whatever the fuck, all of that was exactly what I had experienced with no machine, and definitely felt like a long time compressed, and like I knew that
Well, I mean,
as it was happening. Like this was it's all of the time, and going it to the, but it was different because it was like
so I'm assuming that them being able to do that with the technology would be messing with the brain waves and neuroreceptors to do so.
okay,
So
was
that's
you
a
and
radio
I,
tuning
or
in.
us
Are you,
three discussing this
about the radio?
well, I know that
I'm
just
talking
we did.
about like what would like so obviously if they're gonna make you mentally feel like you've been trapped for 1,000 years in a day, that would obviously have something to do with any and every pathway of consciousness in the brain.
Yeah.
So it goes. I don't remember if it was just us two or we did talk about it, but there's that the analogy where I first read it was in that DMT, the spirit molecule book, of our consciousness being a radio and you're tuning into a different station. And it may have been in that book or something that I was looking at related to it, but it was a theory about schizophrenics being like in between the radio stations. Basically, you're in between two stations on the radio dial, so you have the interference coming in between two of them.
Dude, and see, like, oh, it's so difficult to say people like
But
us.
so that would be like tuning the radio that is your mind to the hell station.
That's not untrue, but like, have not people in generally our friend circle that is very diverse. It's excessively diverse. Say shit like, people with an illness like schizophrenia are probably seeing the real reality
There,
outside. You know
there's
what I'm
that
saying?
side of it,
Like,
seeing the real reality, seeing another spiritual plane, or I guess a different plane
or like the
for
wolves
consciousness.
over our eyes, or some kind of any sort of something that's along those lines,
I
right?
guess you could tie that back to we were living in the false world.
Yeah, because
traditions of
they don't
Gnostics
see it's
and-
not just schizos. They see the aneurotypicals, so that could also include the autistic people too. That the propaganda doesn't work on.
What was
Well,
the whole
yeah.
radio comparison thing was that clicked with me. Like, okay, like that's a pretty straightforward analogy of what could potentially be going on with consciousness and consciousness altering substances, mental issues, problems. The reason why this was tied into it was that MAOs break down the DMT in our bodies very quickly, and ayahuasca, or if you are to refine it out and take it in some way, and you use an MAO inhibitor, that boosts the effect of the DMT, right? Well, what they were looking into is they were at the time, and this has been years since I read it. They were trying to figure out MAO levels of schizophrenic patients the with the intention of trying to make a link between the body producing enough DMT to potentially tune your radio halfway between stations and it being able to break it down through the natural productions of the MAOs that are in our body. Their hypothesis and what they put forth was that if these people do indeed have far lower levels of MAOs to break down the DMT that's produced in our body, are they suffering an effect of enough of that getting through to blur the lines? I thought that was pretty interesting. So, like,
yeah.
What
like
station are you tuning to
that,
make somebody feel like they've been someplace for 1,000 years?
So not only did that make sense for the weird Hyperborea thing that happened with me, but also makes sense if you whatever he's talking about with the fucking machine, or I would imagine
I didn't even read the article. I just saw it and was instantly like, that's fucked up. Nope, I'm gonna keep scrolling.
I didn't see nothing. I don't fucking care to read any of the shit.
Yeah, I'll have to
Really,
look at that article more in depth to use it on a next episode so we can talk about it.
That was a terrifying headline. Like reading that and like thinking about that, that's fucking horrifying.
Yeah, it was like it's almost like a simulated version of what happened on Demolition Man. If you remember that movie where those guys were imprisoned and they could see everything going on around them while they were like in cryostasis.
Yeah. Welcome to Vault. Welcome to the Vault. Oh man,
damn it!
This thing, it's only a matter of time before we can get the seashells to use in the bathroom.
Yeah, I thought it was real, and now that I'm remembering seeing that, I'm thinking I thought it was real weird that I kept scrolling down, and the next thing that made me think, what the fuck, was something about some Israeli genetic company trying to make basically trying to make a worldwide genetic database to use specifically for criminal justice and law enforcement.
No, I doubt it's going to be used for that.
Has it on tap, and I just thought
it's going to make genetic-based bioweapons is what that sounds like.
Right. You know, I just thought it was funny that A, that was kind of one of the next things I saw on my feed, and B, you know, of course, B, Israel, of course.
It's not. But yeah, I mean, it's like everything is waves, but like literally everything is waves. Gravity waves, time waves. Didn't I fucking like talk about that before?
I thought time was waves and particles depending on whether it's observed or not observed.
No comment.
Okay. So we're gonna go deeper down the iceberg then. Okay. I guess we could do that. Real quick, that fucking X-Files link you sent me yesterday, Klaus. I don't think.
Oh yeah, the.
Let me ask you something first. You didn't put that comment, did you? With the year that I mentioned to you?
What comment?
Dude, okay. Okay.
All right.
We'll get to it, okay? But first of all, here's something weird. This was posted 2 days ago, and I only had a reply in a fucking thread that it was one of those certain threads, but like it seemed like it kind of got looked over a bit anyway. It took a while for me to find my own fucking comment, but it doesn't matter. In one of them, somebody said, if you're, and not to me, by the way, because this was 2 days ago, like I said, not 24 hours ago or whatever,
right.
Fucking close to it. If your timeline was different, what was the end time trigger then? What happened that made everything roll back? And I, I sent Popo the shit today, and I'm like,
Yeah.
end time,
You sent me a lot
end
of shit,
time
but
trigger.
I stopped and thought about that one.
Oh, end time trigger. So, like I said in that Twitter fucking wall of text, where it was all a tree fitty joke at the end. Omega event. Oh, the Omega event. Blah blah blah. And like you know what I mean? Just very fucking stupid shit. But also not. What happened? Oh,
Shit out of me.
you
Yeah,
good?
because there was like another unrelated thread
No,
that
but I'm still breathing.
went on
So
like
here we are,
I
back
forgot
in
which channel it
channel
was,
hell.
but they were discussing this in 2015. It was a guy that was I think he was Hungarian or no, he was Bulgarian, and he said his
there a
father was
difference?
working on some project with a bunch of supercomputers trying to look at patterns, and they came up to like a conclusion: the end of humanity was going to happen at a certain date. And so this guy said that his dad on his deathbed told him about this shit, and he believed his father was killed to silence him. And this was back in 2015, and he put up the date. It was like I think he said either March 22nd or March 24th would be the end date for humanity because they felt like nukes were going to be used, but they didn't say why.
Well, I mean, that's one of those speculations of a certain Uncle A.
Yeah, like trends forecasting. I think that's what they're using the AI for on the.
Well, I was more meaning like the and
God, they have their
and,
own.
and
They have their own forecasting now. What the fuck? Oh, sorry.
forecasting their death date. God damn it.
So that would mean that it has a 59% chance of being. Anyways,
Yeah. Anyway, Klaus, what I was trying to say was like with the Antarctic and I mean, for years people have speculated that a certain German chancellor, right, had military base there and all this stuff, and then there's definitely been like the portal to hell thing and the nukes
bro, they also.
and blow up
Oh man, I
when they
should
Yeah, they
have
also
fucking
said
sent
that was
that.
like a tunnel
No,
to
hey,
guard.
I just saw something earlier, and I'm gonna go back and find it, and I'll send it to Zach. But I just saw something earlier about them. There's, it's these pockets down like far down in the Earth crust. This was on one of the geological pages that I follow for like boring nerd shit, gemstones and fossils and shit. But it was talking about these gigantic like wells almost that at one point they thought spherical shit for obviously the earth and the different layers of the crust and going down further, whatever all of that actually is called. I'm probably butchering everything. But they found these like gigantic pockets where they thought that's not how the interior of the earth worked. And the whole what you were just talking about, old Uncle H over there and subterranean hollow earth stuff things.
Yeah, 'cause for years I think they told us it was like a nickel iron core that was molten, and I was like, well, how come it's never cooled off? It's been molten all these years. How's it stay warm? That was my whole thing, and I never got an answer for it.
I'm pretty sure I was taught that was had something to do with tectonic plates and movements.
So you think it was friction or pressure that's keeping the
Something
center
like
of the
yeah,
earth
like
hot?
some yeah.
But I was
It's
just
been a
couldn't.
while
I was
since I
like,
took
for
a
millions
class
a year,
on
it's
it,
still
but
hot. Like I'm just not buying it.
I don't know.
I
don't know
mean,
how
we
shit
have
works.
volcanoes, so
Like obviously something's hot.
yeah.
I'm not saying that like something's hot. Okay, we know that something is fucking hot, but that's about
it's me.
it. Like
I was
God
that.
damn it.
But
But I mean, like, yeah, the well to hell and all that other stuff. Is that like what else is down there? What is actually down there? Was that the full story?
the real question is, what's up there? because down is up. If you forgot, down is up. Okay?
God damn it, Kyle, don't you hit me with that Serbian dude double buff. Jew double buff.
That's what's the YouTube equivalent of Zuck? I mean, that was a fantastic impression
Of
that
Eric
you did-
Cartman
of,
from
yes,
South Park.
a fictional caricature.
Absolutely.
Fucking stupid shit. Okay. So check this out, Klaus. You know what? Actually, let me find our messages because this is gonna have to like make fucking sense.
3 years later.
Dude, I know. 3 years fucking later. Chill. Because it.
So I got one of the threads up right now, so I can like talk about this. They call it the April reset. So they're saying that the reset isn't just to 2012. So they believe that we're alive all the way to conception, that you could push your memories back into. So we can choose. They're saying that we can choose to keep our memories
I'm gonna have a smoke.
or have the ones of a time whenever we choose to loop to. So they're saying, why isn't this talked about? And they said, you simply are in one of the infinite timelines that not many people choose to remember. So there are timelines to host enough to have everyone spread around so it's not chaotic. And many people in power in the media now would have remembered but don't talk about it because it would be considered crazy and useless. People would find out eventually on their own. Now they're saying, why don't you remember previous timelines?
This is what they call not chaotic.
Yeah. That's weird.
Interesting.
And so they say we are currently in a loop where we chose not to remember our last loop. And so that maybe you did not choose to go back to a very young age where over time your brain developing could cause you to lose the memories that you would have been left with and experience deja vu. So they're saying, what do you need to do now? And they say nothing, just enjoy your last month in this loop and be ready to make your choice when it ends. And that we may have been through hundreds or thousands of loops, and this is just another cycle where you choose to forget the psychotic feelings of this mysterious place. You may choose to remember and keep remembering for many loops, or eventually it just gets boring and you choose to forget, repeat the cycle endlessly until the game is over. So they're making it sound like we're in a video game. Like the guys who believe that we're in a simulation because they're like, well, can we start over and get a Game Plus? Game Plus start?
Where's the end though? If it's a loop and a cycle, like, what is the end? I mean, if this is an infinite loop, then how is there an end? There's
so then they give like
I guess if it's an infinite, it's not even. Yeah, it's a reset. If it's an infinite loop, you just fucking. Which, yeah, I mean, we've talked about, and I more than once have mentioned how, like, especially as time goes on, more and more shit seems familiar, I guess.
Not to me. I feel like I'm not sure what the hell I'm supposed to be doing this far into the game.
Well, see, there's that feeling for me as well, which
it's like, where's my mission objective so I can get it over with, or honestly, where's the side quest I can get for better loot? You know?
yeah. Like I need the infinite loop where we're already like far ahead, where I can have robotic hands integrated into my system.
See that with the Game Plus where you'd start out at birth with the cybernetic upgrade.
Yeah. No, but that would make, like, that feeling combines with it too. It's not just a singular, like, this is familiar. It's still, for me, it's still, there's that feeling of what the actual fuck, like, this is familiar, but what the fuck am I supposed to do about it? Or how am I supposed to change this? Or why is this familiar, but everything appears wrong? Or appears to continuously go wrong? Or, like, you know, okay, if that's the case, what is the purpose though? Is that is that part of the process of Buddhist enlightenment? The cycle of reincarnation.
Yeah, you have to escape your
oh,
what's it called? A wheel of I can't remember what it's called. Was it Dharma or
that sounds right, or one of those words that sounds similar.
If Wyndham goes here, he could do it because he's Buddhist. He knows the words.
Fucking or, you know, different portrayals and ideas of a purgatory where the entire premise would be to remember, confront, and repent of what is holding you there. If you wanted from a Judeo-Christian form of analogy, like what's the purpose? Why is this continuous loop? What are you just supposed to try to do better or to continuously be better? What's the is it does it restart from square one to where obvious obviously how you did before would have to affect it going forward, I would think, or that would be just pointless. Like, I mean, I've thought before, like, God damn, is this my life now? Like, what kind of piece of shit was I in a previous life?
Yeah.
And that's a real thought. You know, that's real thoughts I've had. A serious, like, okay, well, like, is there something before? Is there life as we understand it before and after? Is it a circle of like, are you reliving the same thing over and over again to try to
Make a better score.
make a better score? You know, but
That's how I was explaining yesterday.
you know, like what counts as the score? Like if you're trying to make a better score, like that obviously can't be the intention and the motivation behind it, because that would negate any. That's a selfish.
It almost
selfish
sounds like
motivation.
there's no free will if the whole point is getting a higher score because it's
Yeah, you
Well,
know, like how does this cycle fit in with the concept of predestination?
I think
Like,
what's his name? It's not Will, is it?
who?
Hold on.
so there's an archive for it. So it's
One sec. Test. Fuck. Mute this shit.
I'm just talking so we don't have dead air. So there's an archive.4plebs.org/x/thread 31228-785 slash number sign 31228-785, so you can get more information on this. And they're saying that this is the only thread that matters on the subject. Keys, chakras, letters. There's the distraction to make you waste your final days in this loop. You're not having fun or preparing your mind for the time reset. So anyone can remember. There's infinite timelines. So spend one with not too many others who remember, who keep insisting, and fun experience for everyone. So some people are freaked out about it, and some people are just calling this guy out for being a schizo or a LARPer.
I mean,
See,
it's X.
I
but
think that's I think that's the territory that, like, even if you're right, you're a schizo and a LARPer. Like, that's not real. That's schizo shit. So, because that's how the world sees stuff like that.
Yeah, if you're
You
not
know,
tuned
like,
in.
At one point in time, if somebody possessed that the knowledge of an upcoming event, they were able to actually show evidence that they did have some or pretty detailed knowledge of said event, they would have been called a prophet. Now you talk about, now you can fucking like look at shit that they telegraph and be like, see, this is what's going on, and everybody's like, no, you're fucking retarded.
Yeah, because we're all waiting for the next false flag, whether it's going to be a chemical or nuclear biological attack. Like, we're waiting for that false flag to pop off.
But I mean, the reality of if a World War III were to pop off, that's pretty fucking timeline resetting right there. Like,
Yep.
whatever the world, if a genuine World War III of current world took off, whatever the current world considers a timeline just came to a fucking end, and now there's whatever comes after.
Because, we're talking to some of the younger guys who are worried about it, and we're saying, you know what? The guys who get vaporized in the atomic fire, they're the lucky ones, because the survivors are going to have a really, really shitty time wishing that they were dead.
Which, I mean, and so, okay, time loop, right? This goes back to what I mentioned, I think, on the last time that we did this or something else, where, like, maybe this is a time loop. Maybe it's not so much a time loop. It's just a loop of civilization of what happens. You know, who knows what civilizations nuke themselves into non-existent in a past, because at the end of the day you're only going to have what ends up preserved. And if you have an advanced civilization that has things that are based on metal and very degradable stuff, then all of that's going to go by the wayside and you're never going to see evidence of it. Think about when you read and you learn about how rare fossilization is, and you think about the probably millions of fossils that have been found around the world being like a 0.00% of the potential species that have ever been here. We don't know what's been here. We don't know what else. It could be a time loop of just, this is how life cycles. This is how the intelligence here so far has cycled. Maybe, maybe it's a thing where a potential alternate timeline or a better choice gets made and more progress off this earth or off of this plane of existence, or something happens as opposed to complete and utter annihilation.
And so I made a little video based off the gematria that someone on /X did. So I can play it right now so you guys can, listen to it and see how it relates to everything.
I'm down.
Yep.
You guys still see it?
I never saw nothing. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, so like you see I'm streaming it. Like you should be able to click on my icon and it says live.
Yep.
Okay, now you're watching it.
Brothers. The collider, which is being restarted again this month for the first time, is in Switzerland, who has also, oddly, broke its tradition over remaining a neutral country in geopolitical affairs due to the Ukraine fiasco. https://www.msn.com/n-news/world/in-move-to-breaks-from-long-tradition
From It almost sounds
Russia invaded on
German.
February 22nd, 22, which happened to be a Tuesday. Joe Biden addressed Russia's invasion of Ukraine at 2:22 p.m. on February 22, 2022. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. Great Northern War, Russia vs. Swedish Empire, lasted for 21 years in 1700s. Start date February 22, 1700. Now exactly 322 years later. The expression "beware the Ides of March" derives from the historical fact that Julius Caesar was murdered by a group of Roman senators on the Ides of March. March 2022 equals 3/22. Skull and Bones, also known as the Order 322 or the Brotherhood of Death, is a secret society known for its powerful alumni. Gematria of military operation in Ukraine equals 322. We are watching a ritual, aren't we? WW1 started on 28/07/1914. Source: https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/world_war_I. WW2 started the January 9, 1939. Source: https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/world_war_2. Ukraine 2022 war started the 24/02/2022. Source: https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/2022_Russian_invasion_of_Ukraine.
He just activated
I'm
like
using
30
worldwide
sleepers.
date system, so it's days/month/year. Take WW1, 28 plus 07 plus 19 plus 14 equals 68. Take WW2, 01 plus 09 plus 19 plus 39 equals 68. Take the date of Russian invasion of Ukraine, 24 plus 02 plus 20 plus 22 equals 68.
Wait, where was the 24 from?
I don't know, but he didn't say his last sentence. I don't know why. He should have.
I mean,
numbers and words and the powers behind and the alleged power behind them have been noted for millennia.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about the ring that was said to have been given to Solomon with the name of God, that he was able to use to ensnare and trap and enslave the spirits and the demons to help build the Temple of Solomon with very specific dimensions and numbers thereof for ritualistic purposes.
I mean,
is it all a coincidence or is it a big ritual?
like, the thing is that well,
that border.
Personally, I don't think it matters, but that being the case, though, regarding numbers, symbols, words.
I remember people doing that with 9/11 too.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, but like still, like even like general magic, witchcraft, whatever type of hippie nonsense, even really like it sounds stupid. A lot.
The fucking hippie nonsense is based on older esoteric.
I mean, it is, but even they don't really grasp.
Oh shit.
The real like terror behind all of the things, like,
well, they're godless
and, like,
heathens, therefore they
down.
don't fucking.
You write it down. You know what I mean? It's like energies fucking exist for all the fucking shit, all the sounds, all everything, dude. Everything. Waves. You can't take away waves. You can't take away waves.
That's not true. Have you looked at my arms lately? That's the look on your face that I like seeing.
God damn it. You fucking got me. Okay. You can't take away waves, but you can
energy.
You can have interference and stuff like that.
Well, yeah.
But that's not the same. I guess you could control the interference. It doesn't matter. Point is, you say the magic words, right? You have a spell book.
It's the process and the energy put into the process. The words, the items, the tools you use in ritual, all of those are pieces to channel the energy that you are putting into this very specific step-by-step recipe to tap into whatever the fuck that is. Whether it be some old Buddhist monk that has been meditating in the same spot on the floor and now his fucking like feet prints are in this hard wood because he's been doing this every day for 80 years, or the nun that is as devout and Christ dedicated as you can, all of these different things that have been linked up to altered states of consciousness through prayer, meditation, and ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're hitting that wavelength. Are you hitting a specific wavelength? Is this an energy source that maybe at a forgotten time in the loop in the past that we forget about? Only certain people see certain things, figure things out. Only certain people are, and I guess as time goes on, motherfuckers aren't dedicated enough to anything anymore. I look at the dedication of my parents to church and to spirituality, not just a set of religion, because my parents take Christ and Christianity very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But as time goes on, like our generation, we don't want anything with church, and even other ones, like you see like the big one behind your old work there in Hatchie, where you can walk up on this church and they're playing Doobie Brothers on the outside speaker, and there's no
Oh,
you.
that one.
Yeah, that one. You know which one I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's not the. It's a soft way. Oh, I want to be able to have the benefit of this spiritual practice, but I want to be gay, or I want to do all of these things that are not part of the ritual. In fact, they're detriments to the ritual. You're not cleansing yourself. You're not doing that. So now, oh, well, it's all about analogies. Well, the Bible's really an analogy. These stories are really an analogy.
The problem is that all of the things that you're saying are not untrue. And all of the ways, yes, bastardizing the ritual and the things, I understand. But also, a lot of the things don't matter. What does matter is the core of stuff. But even still, people don't want to. They don't want to. Okay, I saw something from an actual schizo on TikTok. And his episodes are weird.
You don't say.
No, like, I get it. But it wasn't something that I watched and just, like, laughed about, except the way he, like, some of it was supposed to, I mean, it was like his real life, but it was presented, well, real life, but I mean, it's supposed to be comedy, but also be comedy because, I mean, you can't just not laugh at things and, you know, yourself and stuff, right? So the way that he interacted with people, some of that's, like, hilarious because, like, why not? You know? But there was one that threw me the fuck off, dude, because, like, it came out of nowhere and was not like the other ones. And he says something like, you're not having a spiritual awakening. And all these people that think that you're not having a spiritual awakening. You're having a psychotic break. And it's a global psychotic break. And I mean, that really got me thinking. First of all, yes. But second of all, weird how that can be a good thing. Because like I was telling you about regarding somebody that we're not going to really say names and stuff on here. You know, yeah, I will be the one to say, yeah, if you need to fucking break. You know, what am I supposed to do? Just have a fucking complete break? Yes. Like,
emphatically.
you have to be, like, I know it's this, look, it's the thing that we say is really fucking stupid, and, you know, with the sword fucking analogy shit or whatever, breakdown,
Yeah.
all of those fucking things.
I don't know which.
It is those.
I'm more tired of people,
dude. I know.
Me is doing that or giving me the story.
The problem is it is those things, but not the way they're generally understood. And, like, you can't ever really know something until you experience it. You just can't. Everybody can tell you all the shit, and you're like, oh, I get it. Like,
it's
no,
you know it.
You know it. You don't
head.
understand it. You know it. You don't understand it. There's a difference. Like I always say, there's a difference between knowledge and understanding. Sometimes they interconnect, but a lot of times they don't.
Yeah.
I understand a lot of shit, and I don't fucking know.
You can have all the. We could have all. People have all this information about an ancient Babylonian civilization. That does not. That joke, that Mesopotamian joke that I just saw on fucking several of the pages where it was a joke about a dog going into the bar. So then he said, I'll open that one. Like, cool, we have all of this knowledge about this civilization, but we do not understand their cultural and social.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
You know, like, the simple, oh, you have depression, it's just in your head, says the person who's never fucking had depression. Like, yeah, I mean, I get just in my head, but that's cool. Oh, just be happy. Boy, I haven't thought of that one before. Let me fucking get right on that.
Yeah, and like at the same time, it's also not wrong.
Right, which would go back. I would tie that back to what me and Klaus were just talking about with like, why? What is my mission? What is how? So at that point, you're like, okay, how? Here's another room of consciousness and mental capacity to open, but I don't have the key to understand. Like, okay, you're right, but how? How do I just do that?
That, yeah, I really don't. I don't even know things. I really don't know things anymore. But all of the things with timelines. Okay, there's so many fucking things. So I will go, because I sent this to fucking Klaus too, man.
Yeah, but it's a huge wall of text, and it's like I can't read through all that.
Well,
Thank you.
It is. I'm
So-
going to read it.
It's not digestible, man. I need like bite-sized pieces.
No. You have to get all of it. You can't just have the tip.
Bro,
Klaus.
spread it and take it all. All 33 degrees of inches, I guess. I don't know. Esoteric.
I thought you were gonna say all 109 lines of text.
110, baby.
Shit, from news stories I've heard, I think it's at like 113 or something now. I mean, there were two goddamn near rainforest tribes that were just like, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. Y'all get out. We don't even want you here. And man, if you're pissing off rainforest Stone Age peoples or people that aren't far removed from it, goddamn.
Okay, look, I'll cut out a lot of this filler that I sent. That wasn't screenshots of a message of a conversation with this girl, but a conversation with you from last night. I'll cut out a lot of filler from the wall of text, but this is regarding CERN, okay? And I had not even looked at the thread at this point. He just kind of like gave me a rundown of timeline reset, all this other shit, right? And I was going on mostly about when I call you and things happen and I'm like, dude?
Yeah.
Like, how often is that now?
It's
every fucking time.
It's an interesting.
It's
a noticeable. It's a noticeable
like
portion of the time.
Seriously, well, I know me, but like,
we have that conversation on a regular basis. Like, what the fuck?
If it were anybody else, and dude, look, I was like fucking joking about this shit, and like, this is weird. Oh, but also there's like 30 other fucking things. I don't know anybody that wouldn't have a giant question mark above their fucking head, and be like, oh, and like actually have to think about it.
Bro,
because like this is too many things to just, I cannot honestly say, oh, that's
dude, I don't know, man. The like denial can be strong as shit. Like, so I've mentioned before that we've had like ghostly things happen in my house, but never anything that's like, oh my god, never the like odd feeling that comes with knowing that like something is there. None of that. It's always been fine. Recently, we've had a few other things, and one of the days, we said my mom has noticed some things. Like I was saying earlier, my mom is like hardcore Southern Baptist Christian, not hellfire and brimstone, but absolute love and God, and I don't believe in this, and I don't believe in that. But she even said, something moved off of her bed the other day when it was just me and her there, and I'm like, no, you've seen me sitting in this chair. But then things would get moved, and she'd say, I'm like, I'm telling you, it's whatever's here with us. No, blah, blah, blah. So everybody comes out of the laundry room that we have, and we were all sitting on the couch, and we hear this bang, right? We keep, sometimes there's like cereal box or some shit on top of the dryer that's in there. Things can fall off when the dryer or the washer's going. No. this was a box of the ramen noodle cups, and on top of that was one of those old big round Tupperware containers that would have like cupcakes or fucking cookies at the holiday time. Like everybody's mother had one of these Tupperware things, and then there was some clothes stacked on it. We go into the laundry room to see what the fuck this crash was. The entire case of ramen noodles are sitting flat on the floor, and none of them have moved. The clothes are on this. We have another plastic container that's got like the dog and the cat food in it sitting by there. Now the clothes are there, and then that fucking cookie, the Tupperware box or whatever, is sitting over by my cat's litter box, which is by the door. In no way, shape, or form could any of this stuff have fallen where it was placed. Mom's still like, oh, well, that's just weird, blah, 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 nothing, nothing. Denial's a motherfucker. Like, you can have it right in front of you. Like, nah, bro, that was stacked on top of this, that was stacked on top of this, sitting up here, and now they're all fine, sitting in 3 different places in the same fucking room.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been the dog.
Well, no. And it's not the cat either.
I know. I know.
You know,
but,
it's like...
And I'm just saying, yeah, well, it could have been the dog. But, like...
But no. I'm just saying, denial's strong in motherfuckers when you have evidence of something outside of this plane's norm. Motherfuckers can see it all day long and they won't. They'll just deny it. Oh, it's just a coincidence.
And
it's just this.
That's what I'm saying. Like when that guy said whatever psychotic, like, how is that? But it is a good thing.
Oh yeah, that was another question I meant to ask on the show about that. So does that mean that? So with what you were talking about in there with the timelines and them messing with said timelines and eventually coming to a bottleneck where there is no more doing this or whatnot, does that mean that they were Griffith and playing with causality the entire time? Because that's...
What was if does it mean that they were what?
Playing with causality the entire time?
Did you say if they were Griffith?
Yeah, Griffith and just controlling causality.
Damn it. Like, I thought that's what you said, but I'm like, I know he did not just...
Yes, that's a Berserk reference.
Of course it fucking is.
Because Sexually Frustrated Pets is an excellent page that does Berserk stuff.
Yes.
And that sounds like causality to me.
That sounds like correlationality, which is not causality. Whatever. Fuck, it doesn't matter. But, okay. Some of the stuff that I sent him in this message is kind of necessary, but I still have to take it out. So, like, again, this is before I even clicked the thread for the X-Files thing. Was that you?
No.
God damn it. Okay, I have to back up. This all stems from an actual, just like, because of all the fucking weird shit that just continues to go on, and outside of timelines, just really just reality, just a fucking breaking of reality, right? Like, I have to seriously start entertaining the idea that the super collider was never actually turned off. All of the things actually end up stemming from that, and it's like, oh shit, like that there's a lot to that, and then things really actually have to start branching from that. So that's weird. That's super fucking weird. And then all this CERN shit made it extra fucking weird.
Mute that for like half a second.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Is he taking a leak?
You know what I'm saying?
No,
so,
no,
okay.
it was just a thought about...
No, I know. I'm just saying.
The informations that are said.
That stuff is around our general area. I mean, it's no fucking secret in Texas.
Yeah.
That it fucking exists. And like I sent you that thing, over 4 decades, and when it got shut down...
When I saw that, over 4 decades of research...
I told you.
Okay, so you have 4 decades of research going on. That's a lot.
From 1993 is when that article was posted. So
Right.
we're
There's
talking
also,
about
there's also talk
1953.
of like a nuclear reactor under UT in Austin. Like I don't know why they have a reactor at the college.
Well, so I was telling him earlier, I actually have somebody that I want to talk to. This individual was supposed to come to said super collider and work from a, quite honestly, why in the fuck would you give this away type position out of a good college in Texas that would have guaranteed his stability and school and everything else for the family, but decided to go to work at that super collider. So I've never really talked to him about it before or anything. I'm not really sure. I don't even really know what his qualifications for, like, what specifically would you be doing there? What are your qualifications to be offered such a job? What was going on? What were you looking for? See what he
Was he like an
says.
engineering student or something
Nah,
else?
he was a he had a teaching job out there. He wasn't a student. Um, and it's I know this person from his kids, but they moved they moved to be closer to that super collider for the father of this family to take a job. I've never really entertained conversation like that with him, but our lives are intertwined beyond separation at this point. So I'll see him eventually. But it'd be interesting. Like, let's say this is a person that's just here that just got offered this job for a on the surface level position or whatnot, or was there something else? Because I don't even know. Now that I'm thinking about it, and given my relationship with the family, it is kind of weird that I've never really asked about it. But I don't even know what the fuck like he was teaching or anything like that. I know what he's done in subsequent years. I know the jobs that he's had. I know a lot of the hobbies he has. He's handy with tools. So,
You remember how we we haha react to each other in real life about everybody's a fed?
yes.
But you think about the stuff that I have to redact and not say, and the reasons that we just discussed half partially while muted.
yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to suggest anything, but that's nobody can see me, of course, but I'm like bug eye, kind of like I'm like the eyes emoji, like yeah, exactly. So I'll have to try to disregard some of the shit that's on this.
Because I've heard
on
about
this
some.
wall of text, but I tell this girl blah 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 blah, right? And like, do you ever think that the super collider never really shut down? Like, that's interesting. Go on. I list certain stuff beforehand, right?
Right.
About just some things, and I'm like, anyway, they got they got a bunch of above ground and almost, as far as public knows, the entirety of underground.
If you think about the size of CERN.
And the whole, like, it's a giant fucking like loop thing, and they have the above ground stuff. It wasn't.
Oh, it's
all
used
of
for
it.
book storage.
Yeah, at movie studio.
Yeah.
With fucking party bands.
Dude, the whole small town talks and all that, I have heard about some pretty heavy-handed responses to trespassing.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Oh yeah,
After-
at the above ground spots, yeah.
after our generation and like the friends I know are the ones that were like right below us, maybe they're like 2 or 3 years younger or whatever.
Mhm.
I don't hear about motherfuckers trying to go out there and do shit ever for any reason. I don't hear the stories we used to hear back in the day about people trying to go out there. I haven't heard of a story in the last 10 years
Nope.
of somebody, at least the last 10 years, of somebody trying to hop that fence. And I've been out there. I was looking for a car when I was doing repo, like way the fuck out there. I look at my screen and I'm like, cool, huh?
Hold on. That's what I thought.
In
looks
that
more
whole
dead
little
air.
incorporated area or whatnot, and it's this like giant house that's right down the street from it. That's
Mhm.
back from the road. It's like it looks like it's probably a farm out there, which is why I never got that car because I'll be goddamned if I'm going behind somebody's sealed gate in Texas,
Yeah.
you know. But I'm passing that, and there were trucks that I could see from this big ass fence. Not very much because there's like the earth, like the almost a wall of earth there, like it goes down into the ditch and shit like that.
Mhm.
But you could see as I'm looking at through this gate back in there, and there were still people out there. It didn't look like it didn't appear outwardly military type ish, but there ain't shit going on out there, and you motherfuckers look busy.
Yeah.
You know,
Big busy.
and you don't hear stories of people trying to hop that fence anymore or trying to go out there. You don't hear anything about it. I
You
haven't
really
heard,
do not.
I haven't heard a fucking thing about it. I don't hear people talking about it anymore. I don't people. Oh
Dude.
man, you know the CERN collider? Well, yeah, we had one here in Waxahachie. It used to be a big deal. I don't.
Dude, that was
Oops.
like what really kind of like fucked me was I just randomly went on fucking X, and then there was, see, this was before this fucking thread that Klaus sent
Yeah.
me, and there was this whole thing about CERN and doing the shit. I don't know that it was timeline stuff talk, but everybody's like, quantum what? What the fuck is you talking about? M's you thing, like that's gonna turn on and kill us, type of stupid. That's what it was
Create a
the
black
type of-
hole and suck
or
the earth
whatever
in.
the
Yeah,
fuck,
yeah, yeah.
dude. Yeah, that's what it was.
That's
And
another.
then-
Now that
and
I'm thinking
somebody
about
was
it,
like,
though,
well, what's quantum, whatever they were talking about, it was a specific word, I think. And then he's like, yeah, like, you know, this, like this, they're studying that. But hey, maybe you should ask around about this super collider in Texas that nobody talks about anymore.
at
That-
all, dude. I don't see it on
dude,
fucking
no, no,
boards.
no,
I don't
no.
see it on shit, dude.
No, but here's what fucked with me, dude, is because he said where they shoot out, or you know, the colliding is with gold particles. The fact that that was that specific,
Right.
and it's going to be a huge redaction of reasons I can tell you certain things.
Just localized information.
Anyways, we'll go with that.
Exactly.
Right, but he wasn't wrong, and nobody does talk about it.
This isn't taught
And
in our
that was-
schools. This isn't taught. The science behind it, you'll hear about CERN all day long and the science behind it. You don't hear that there was an attempt. You don't hear that funding was pulled. You
And
don't hear that it exists.
No, you.
And
do
that's a
not.
big fucking deal.
And that's a lot of type of shit that I brought up in this conversation, right? And I was like, so like, with all the years, I mean, they had two of, and I know that they did. And an article from '93 proved me correct with any assumption, even though I already knew. Still, that's beside the point. In the 50s, that we know of, but really in the 60s that we know of. That's an air quote. All the designing, engineering, and shit of things, at least afterwards of the idea, right? Because projects take fucking time. They just do. And then you gotta design it and survey and fucking construction and all of the fucking things. All of the fucking things, dude. And it's underground, you got all this shit, and it's taken like, 30 years, 40 years at this point. So why would the government spend the money and resources to clearly have started up everything in the late 50s, maybe, but maybe we'll go 60s, all the things, up to all of the shit, up to Clinton getting elected and all the things, and it was the next year that it got shut down. Right? there's some redaction stuff. Why just go, no, shut it down? Like, I speculate that it only did officially, and the DOE has that shit under the tightest of wraps. Like, I really do. But to further this analysis, I don't know.
I mean, if you think about it, you have one for scientific reasoning and advancement, and a government could potentially see a potential for weaponization of said technology, but you can't obviously do that.
Yeah, and there's a big portion that because of reasons and location specifics, I have to skip necessary chunks. It's so fucking necessary
yeah.
too. It really is necessary for this. But the point was that I hypothesized that it was turned on, and a quantum superposition event took place, and it was measured and seen, and the general area is like it was supposed to be one way. That's why everybody moved over into the area, like you mentioned.
Right.
And it didn't happen. And it was supposed to be like the
because that destroyed lives.
The far North Dallas suburbs. It was supposed to be like they are now. Back then, yes. You know, so
Yes.
that's and like
well, and
everybody in
that's another thing that's weird about it is that it did cause massive problems for so many people who had given up. I mean, things worked out for the person that things progressed for the person that I know, but all the families that moved here, all of the loss of money, jobs, properties, and everything else that came with like throwing your life away to come here do that. That's not talked about. Nothing.
No, and neither is.
Was it a union job? Because the union could
No,
probably silence people.
There's no unions here, but it is.
I think the Miller Plant's the only union I know of in this chunk.
So here's. I'm gonna try my best to think of some of the words here so I don't be too specific about locations. But there are many areas in the larger area of the heart of Texas that in this time frame when they moved near there or wherever their station might be closer to type of thing, there were so many fucking feds everywhere. And that's what I said when everybody's a fed and how you describe the thing. Like I swear to God, dude, I swear, like you would never, but you also would, of course you wouldn't know. And nobody ever asked.
Dude, there was one that lived right across the street from me, a U.S. Marshal. They're leading the perfectly normal life. They appeared one day, overnight. About 6 months later, disappeared. Same.
And that's the type of shit that had kept going on. And then the fucking drugs and the pedos and the police, all the shit that, like, people just talk conspiracy, but like you said with denial, like, these motherfuckers in those areas, dude, they fucking know. They know.
Well, and then you also have, because of I guess the rural demographic or whatever. These people were just stupid. These people were just low intelligence,
well, that's
low
why
IQ,
I said
conspiracy theorist, redneck.
That's why I said the whole thing's like a test city or a test area. Like I'm dead serious. I can't not entertain this fucking idea because
as more time goes on, the less I don't know that I believe that, but the less I'm willing to put up an argument against it.
No, because this kind of like okay. This will kind of start to sort of answer the question that you answered yourself regarding the fucking Berserk reference. So I told her, I said that I hypothesized it was turned on, a quantum superposition event took place. It was measured and seen. And that area is the center of it all. In one reality, nothing like that happened. Ish. Right? And the area is exactly like it was supposed to be. That's one reality. Reality 2, it got shut down, like the one that we know or whatever, and can is what we're talking about. But the third reality is the reality of observation of the other three. I'm aware of what I said. The other three. Somehow, anthropic principle doesn't apply in the third reality because they can measure and observe the other realities. Schrodinger's cat. It's 100% Schrodinger's cat. You have dead, alive, and the superposition states. That's 3 realities. And then there's the reality of the observer. So, like, that's got to kind of, like, make some sense, right? And before, take your meds, schizo, or whatever, right? But you have the reality of the alive, the reality of the dead, and the reality that's superpositioned in between. You have all those. But the observer observes those. And each one is a reality for him. But my thing...
So would that be outside...
Oh.
Would that be outside the timeline observing in, or would that be the...
Superpositioned inside the superposition.
So it's the ability to observe one's own reality and the alternates around.
That's what I think happened. Not only do I think that that's what happened, there was a lot more in that myth, but I really cannot with that. I have to get to Klaus's fucking shit that I wrote on here, because this is the bigger one. Okay, I do think that's what happened, and I was telling him we've been doing this over and over and over. The only way... Oh, you know what? I forgot. I got this thing that I'm going to put up. Where is it? Downloads. This might not make sense to anybody unless they played the fucking game, but I don't really care. So, I'm going to have that up. Now, so we've been doing this over and over and over again. The only possibility of Timeline C could ever take place is the demand of the collective to control their fates with the memories of the future and the past. Again, this is before really going on that thread. I hadn't clicked it because I was in the middle of typing a fucking wall of text. Esper's really. Like, in fact, I know the year of the jump. It'll be 1992. That's when the superposition timeline takes place. CERN might power the future event. Doubt, but bear with me. But it's to start the past event. Is that starting to make some sense? Because of the timeline that we're in. Okay? But I said this was start the past event. In my opinion, what needs to happen is to force a reality to be observed, because observing many is what got us superpositioned in the first place. It's anthropic principle.
All of this sounds like playing outside of our playground.
Yeah. I mean, but like all the other timelines and realities collapse when you observe. One. We, right now, looking at my computer screen, are observing this reality. But what if we could, like Looking Glass...
And it would collapse our reality. I need to figure out how to do this way quicker.
What?
Collapse our reality.
Oh, yeah. No. It doesn't collapse in. It's hard to explain because you're living your reality. Right? That's an observance. But if you can, if a superposition event of realities takes place, that's everybody outside. So somebody is gonna have to know and see the things existing out, like that, taking the place what they are. Not Looking Glass though. That's different. I'm talking about actual event that separates realities, not just fucking play pretend of fucking,
right.
You know what I mean? Like simulations or whatever, and like, well, what if we did this? Nope.
The occurrence as opposed to the classification.
Right. So the only way to fix that is in the future, you have to go back to the past.
I'm my own grandpa?
No, not that far. Just to where it was, the thing took place. That's the only way to do it. Now, so I have to pause that there because this right here is a. You're talking about timeline loops, and yes, this is exactly what goes on here. And this is from Virtue's Last Reward and the Zero Time Dilemma games.
Yeah.
So up here at the top, C is the timeline that Virtue's Last Reward is in. And if I remember right, A is 999. Okay? I could be wrong. I'm pretty
Don't you
sure.
yell at me in German.
But God damn it. But all of these where they loop and they continue, that's because this Nevada test site at E, that's the point, right? If you play Zero Time Dilemma, like, oh yeah, so it's the Mars test.
You're talking
site.
about S4 Division, the Project Looking Glass?
Right now, no. I'm talking about a video game.
Oh.
He's making a comparison between.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm making a comparison of timeline stuff. This should be up on the right. Why is-
In and steals
Oh.
and possibly leaks it. That would fucking suck.
What the fuck? Oh.
Yeah, my buddy.
That's why. I'm fucking retarded, bro. Okay, it is up on the fucking YouTube. Damn, dude. Whatever, man. Yeah, okay. I earned that one. That's fine. It's okay.
There's a timeline where it didn't go like that.
No, there isn't. It's exactly what was meant
You're
to
your
happen.
own singular. You're your
Yeah.
own superposition.
Yeah. Okay, so Klaus, I don't if you pull up the fucking on the YouTube, there's a
Yeah, it smells fish.
there's an everlasting fucking loop of timelines. And so it was between the three games, and I forget which one is the Mars test site. E. That has to be it. It goes from 999, and that's A, and it goes up to D. Wait, yeah. But D, the event that took place there, why that starts doing all this shit is because of this virus that killed 75% of the population. Now, at E, that's where all the things... That is my comparison of Super Collider and the shit in what I am calling of 1992, right? Of the superpositioning of realities. So stuff is going to keep continuing. It's going to go up. You're going to you'll go up to C eventually at some point of time because you didn't stop something at E and go to this tangent. Okay? And so, like I said, in this game, virus come, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't really fucking matter. The point was that virus was made because there were two options. It was one, everybody gets annihilated because of some weird bioterrorist, or another person who has seen all of the timelines knows that, if you kill 75%, that gives a good amount of people that still exist and a high probability of that person not existing. Right? And it's 25 is kind of sustainable for other people. Kill him before he kills literally everybody. Unfortunately, it's mass casualty event. Those are the two options at that point. So okay, we know that the timeline, it has the virus thing. So you start going up, well, all this stuff happened and it's got this fucking virus that makes you kill yourself, and that's why everybody fucking died. You have to go up and now we got to rewind the timeline and go back to the thing where that took place and find out why. And I'm like, stop it. However, there is where all the things keep on branching out and they continue. This, oh, well, this happens? Nope. You're going to circle right back around. This goes on? Nope. You thought wrong. This is where it's going. Over and over and over and over and over. Those are the things.
Yeah, this is a fixed event, not a fixed spot, a fixed event in time.
Yes. I think that's what's happening now. And so any of those people on X and all the shit, what they're saying, that's why I say I don't think it's necessarily untrue, but, and it's a gigantic but, is that, and where it breaks off is what I'm saying is there's got to be a thing. Okay, so I'll put it like this. In Zero Time to Limit, that's the third game of the series. And when you get the true ending, you go back to the beginning of the game. That's what happens. You're at the beginning of the game where you're given a choice to flip a coin.
And that's just that.
No, it's not just that. You win. And even if when you first play the game, you will win every time, but like everybody dies. But you have to, what ends up happening is all the experiences, all the loops, all the fucking loops of everybody and everybody dying and going back and shifting timelines has got their shit like beefcaked, right? That's the thing why. So whenever they can fucking get out and they know they have all the memories of even this thing, even if they die and they start realizing, oh, hold on, this is like deja vu, like this motherfucker right here. Oh,
if it's a fixed event in time, that's a fixed event. There is no getting around that.
Is that why they mention nothing can stop what happens?
I will get to that, but I don't know, because the thing is that if
goddamn, I fucking
if you're
hate
somebody,
this analogy.
no,
Hold on. I fucking hate this analogy. This is going complete and utter fucking soy or whatever. In the Marvel What If show, Doctor Strange, it's a what if his chick died instead of his hands getting fucked up, right? And he tries to stop that by opening the different timelines, the different abilities, the different ways to try to stop this. Turns out this is a fixed fucking point in time. Or, I'm sorry, a fixed event in time. No matter what you try, this person, or in this case, these people, are going to die. Or if it's a fixed event in time that a volcano goes off, the fucking volcano is going to go off.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a fixed point in time, a fixed event in time.
Yeah.
And
well, fixed events,
there is no way around that.
Do and will happen, but we're talking about something that's outside of and all-encompassing of realities. That's what I'm saying. That's the different part of when you say event, right? Because, like, how has it been tried to be changed? Oh, well, go back to this time. Like, I don't think so. Like, a lot of the stuff that I can guarantee, a lot of the stuff that we've experienced in the past 150 years is due to that. And we are existing in the reality of they tried. They fucking already tried. They tried to do that and change the things. But we're not on a doomed loop. I don't think. Because the other realities that exist.
I didn't say the loop was doomed.
Look,
I said that certain events would be fixed events in time.
Right.
If you're trying to avoid something, it would, if you are able to figure out in this situation, being able to look at all of said information, you would need the knowledge that that is a fixed event. So you are no longer trying to change this event. You are trying to change the aftermath of said event.
But we gotta do a thing, man. We gotta go back to my Twitter thread. That's what we have to do, because I talked about the timeline stasis. You pull out, you do timeline, you tangent timeline. All of those years that go by, take them, all of the energy that comes from the timeline, put it back in when you took it out. it continues with that energy, but now your speed of the time goes faster. So that event of whatever that was down here and
That's
time
why I
that-
said a fixed event, not a fixed
point.
place.
Yeah,
Or
not a
point
fixed
in
point.
time.
I
A
know,
fixed event
but
doesn't
that-
matter if it speeds up or not. It's still going to happen.
I know, but if it's this down here, and now we can just accelerate it to oblivion, like I said, and they're like, oh fuck, like we did that continuously, and then it just, oh well, time's kind of like fuck you, you know. So, but what if they could take an entirety of a timeline, tangent it off from time, and then go and put it back? Like they could even take like a few hundred years or
That sounds
whatever.
like, that sounds like wishful plotting.
No, hold on. If they took even a few hundred years, and where they placed it back was not at the time that they took from. So if it's an arc like this is what I said.
Right.
Down.
Right.
Okay. So it's gonna do that. But if you do it from here, change the crest point. So all of these realities no longer exist. Just this other one, even though these already did exist. That yeah, whatever thing. But
I think
we're not on that time. We're not on that wave of time or any of that.
that sounds like something that would have a fail-safe in the universal system to me.
I know that it would. But
It doesn't matter what you would remove or where you would try to replace it. A fixed event would have to occur. If it's a fixed event, it would be a linchpin in the entirety of the cohesiveness of any loop, line, or anything else.
Right, but imagine that you could loop back and just you could great reset. Press the reset button. Just I was telling Klaus.
Cool. You reset
No.
way
No.
before.
Hold on. I was telling Klaus. Many games that we grew up playing, you beat the game, right? And when it loads back up after the credits, we're not including Pokemon clearly. Rolls up after the credits, you press start or press A or whatever button that's the fucking to go, and your save file comes up and you press A again.
It's clearly X, because if you're pressing A, you're one of those rainbow people with an Xbox.
I was talking about Nintendo, but Nintendo's anyway, like Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Talking about game plus.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's why he was saying that, because that's what I was talking about. Because in the timeline now, it's
You start out with
you
all
go
the
and beat the game.
When you do that, you start out with all the equipment you need.
Yeah.
To still go through the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're able. Okay, you can do it faster, cool. But if you have the best item in the game, that's for an in-game boss. When you get to that in-game boss, you still have the best item in the game that's used for that in-game boss. You still had a fixed event that you had to deal with.
Yeah, but you're probably at a higher level. So instead of beating the game at level 30, you come back through level 60 or something like that.
Yeah, and
That's fine for the thought of that, but I could be level 60 going into terminal cancer, and I still have terminal cancer.
the whole point of why I was bringing this up is because on games like Ocarina of Time, you go and you beat Ganon. The credits roll. That's it. That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
You go and you press A again, and what? You can 100% the game.
Yeah.
And then you beat the boss, and then it loads your last save before the boss. That's it. That is it.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's what we're on. But there's some games that I'm sure it took a while to realize that's not all. Because events, they can change due to various energies and time. And time, not in time, but I guess also that. But
I would still...
like, look,
yes,
in this
I
example
agree.
right
Like,
here,
I agree with that. I still... if
Then
something
you've
is
got-
a linchpin of reality, I don't fucking think it matters how you approach it. I think it is a linchpin of reality. If this is something, if you, let's say this is what it is, right? At what point do you cut that up enough to where you fuck the fabric of reality? If you try to negate, if I try to not pay for my sins, there's no way around it.
I would first of all argue that while I understand what you're saying, that's got nothing to do with this. It can and does stop existences from existing and, you know, people and whatever, but it doesn't. You can still experience the things and send data back, and that was kind of the point of some of those CERN posts. Was, well, what about, you know, send stuff back to you, because they're talking about like deja vu and like all the shit that we fucking talk about,
no,
right?
I
But, like,
get it.
So this point right here, where it branches off and tangents from the fucking loop, all of the loops had to occur to have this as even a possibility, right? And what is this possibility? What were the original two things? Everybody dies because of some weird bioterrorist, or 75% die because that's the only way that that could happen. That had to happen for all of these loops to happen, to come back to here to make sure that the 75%, like that shit, didn't have to get released, and the potential to have all of the fucking knowledge of even these future times and the loops and the other timelines to find the guy that killed everybody. That's the only way that that had potential to branch off from that fixed point and go off and do something about it. If there was a way to do it, that was the only way, right? It doesn't mean that they will fail, because they obviously still could. You don't get to know what happens, and that's the point of the game at the end, is because they're just like, we create our own shit. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. And like, that's half true, but like, if we're looping and say there's only like some, and we have to, like, you know, expand our energies to have other people be able to do the same when they fucking loop us back again, right? Just bear with me. But the more you get, the more that you're gonna have. The more you get, the more you're gonna have. The more you're gonna get, the more you're gonna have. Well, whatever point that it has to take place where they have to flip that fucking switch to loop us back, like, if it comes to that point where it's so many fucking people, and then like you just kind of, oh shit, I'm like 6 years old again. But, and also parents, and they're like, no. And like, what was the thing? So like, I suggest that powers back on the super collider in the past, all the CERN shit that they fuck with the time and gravity waves. And again, sending data back is possible. Theoretically, it is, and not just like, you know, schizo posting. But just because of the way that data works, dude.
It's information, it's energy.
Yes.
So therefore,
Right.
Yeah, I've
It's
actually
quantum
brought that up in a
entanglement,
schizo
blah,
post in
blah,
a past
blah.
episode. It was such a heavy read. I actually posted that on the Facebook page.
It's a lot of shit, isn't it? Of like, why that's possible. I don't remember, Popo, if I sent you this video or not. But Klaus, I was watching this video.
I guess my questions are not from a, is this a possible thing? It's, my questions of it are, this it just seems like one of those things. There's nobody on the face of this planet that would have the capacity to rightfully meddle with, I guess.
I think that that was the problem. I think that was, I say 1992. I think that that was a big part of the problem, and they're like, we
You want to
fucked
experiment
up.
and you want to experiment and do shit, that's cool. At what point is the process of experimenting detrimental enough where you just, this is knowledge out of my reach, and it's so far out of my reach that I think it's a bad idea for me to play with.
I will tell you. I will actually answer that question. Okay?
Oh crap! Hold on.
I want to.
Hold on. Put it on mute for a second.
Oh,
Got a phone call.
I was about to say, so after this reset switch happens at the time, how far back are you going to choose to go, and what major changes would you make on your next playthrough? Would you do everything the same? Oh, you're both muted. Shit.
give us
Hello?
a second, man.
That's it for me. Klaus, good to talk with you. I got to
All
get back
right.
to the house now. For our one viewer, where'd that person go? I don't know. Whatever. Thank you. Oh,
Oh, I need to help you on here.
the game.
Yeah.
I've shared it with a couple other pages, so maybe I'll get you some more views.
I gotta get his shit real quick. Hold up. I'll be back.
Oh, man.
whatever fucking reason. But it was just this guy from years ago talking about Looking Glass and stuff, and literally was exactly what I had already been talking with Popo about days before, months before even. And it's like I was fucking spot on. And the shit that he was saying, I had no like prior like real knowledge of or even understanding that was like real stuff. I just these are my thoughts. Oh, this shit is a thing, huh?
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll just monitor X until that date happens to see what happens, and then if nothing happens, we can call a bunch of bullshit.
Well, but hold on.
Unless